Music is life, you don't know. And I'm all set and ready to blow. I got some places out there I wanna see. It's gonna be irate, yeah. So put your hand in the air just for me. I want it up for the world to see, 'cause I wanted you and me's a fire. I'll bring the flame. It's gonna be irate, yeah. Boom, this is Mr. Nye, and you're listening and watching SAT Telecoms. Boom!
Welcome to SAT TV's news. I'm Shanna Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories, senior police officer speaks on corruption in police force. St. Lucia PM urges hoteliers to look at the bigger picture. Spain train crash, Galicia derailment kills 78. And in sports, West Indies 13-man squad announced for upcoming T20 International. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. On Wednesday, July 24th, an exercise in telemedicine was conducted at the All Saints University, where a group of international students from Ohio and national All Saints University students presented cases to each other via the internet. Professor at the All Saints University, Mr. Sam Christian, said, "This is an advanced learning presentation, as majority of the demonstration was conducted over the internet." According to the professor, medicine is trying to keep up with technology. Therefore, conferencing over the internet saves individuals the trouble and the cost of traveling. Two students from the university, Dr. Donna Dodds and Dr. Raymond Anasdoy, were chosen to conduct the presentation. The first was on breast cancer in males and the other on schizophrenia.
Breast cancer in males is very hard to diagnose because men come late. They're somewhat embarrassed, and by the time they come, oftentimes it has spread, and so it tends to be a lot more lethal in men than in women. But so this is one of the ways that we can raise awareness, the Dominica Cancer Society. When we talk about breast screening, we have to include the men as well. The other case was one of schizophrenia. Again, a condition which is not often fully managed in most places. And here is no exception. We all know, as we drive along the road, certain individuals, we can see them at certain places who are acting strangely and abnormally. And patients, when they begin to become a danger to themselves and others, have to be treated in the acute psychiatric unit.
Dean of Academic Affairs of the All Saints University, Dr. John Clure, informed us that this is the first presentation by the first semester students, and more will be conducting in the future. Dr. Clure noted that they tried their best to integrate the presentation on a clinical curriculum.
This clinical case is presented today by actually cases of patients. They work in a hospital, in Princess Margaret Hospital, over the last 8 weeks. Students rotated in different departments of the hospital, and today they presented some more significant cases as a part of the curriculum. So it's kind of like a transition between basic medical sciences and clinical medicine.
Registrar of All Saints University, Dr. David Abiodun, said as a special package for the year, every student was granted a 40% scholarship. Students who completed secondary school with an excellent grade in science are also accepted to the university.
And those who have finished from the state college and are very good in their sciences, we also admit them. And we give them that 50% scholarship, covering them for their entire basic medical sciences. And some of them who, when they finish and they decide to stay on the island to do their clinical rotation, we introduce them to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where they are trained under qualified and competent doctors. And we also have different programs for them to enhance their medical career and professionalism. And I also want to say that the program we have today is partly introducing and educating our student populace to the world of medical practice, where you interrelate with other practitioners in other nations.
In more news, the Dominica Association of Teachers, Canadian Teachers Federation, and the Ministry of Education have closed the curtains on a 2-week summer program which accommodated approximately 50 teachers. Throughout the training, the teachers benefited from training sessions in 4 professional courses: food and nutrition, literacy, numeracy, and special education. Mrs. Melina Fontaine, Acting Chief Education Officer, in her address to the participants of the workshop at the Convent High School on Thursday, July 25th, congratulated the participants for their accomplishments.
I wish to congratulate everyone here who has stayed the course to further enhance your skills as effective teachers, or to be on your way to being effective teachers within the school system. There is a growing body of knowledge and research that suggests that we need to move beyond simplistic, narrow approaches to teaching and learning.
Mrs. Fontaine added that no individual can develop fully if they are not educated in some way.
Proponents of the soul of education will also tell you that young people can find purpose in life, do better in school, strengthen ties to family and friends, and approach adult life with vitality and vision. All of these brings to the fore the complexity of schooling, the complexity of delivering education, the types of experiences that we provide for meaningful learning, and the inner being of the individual.
Various gifts were presented to deserving individuals for their support throughout the 2-week workshop. All the teachers received certificates for their participation in the summer workshop. Here is a clip of a skit recited by the teachers.
Fun with English. Good morning, everybody. Here we are, a million trillion miles from home, among colleagues from Canada and Dominica.
Who are we?
Where do we come from?
What are we going to do?
We are teachers, having fun with English, making our voices heard, ringing voices all in chorus, speaking English words, experimenting with literacy, learning different strategies.
In other news, since the bus stop accommodating Mahu, Masak, Goodwill, and the Fonkole residents, among others, was relocated on June 1st, 2012, in an effort to reduce traffic congestion in the city, there have been numerous problems. Bus drivers have been complaining that there are too many buses in this area, Frequently, the more important issue being voiced is that there are some bus drivers who do not follow the line and engage in what they call a right-of-way system.
I know that when I last spoke to the board, for the chairman of the board, it was said that a survey would be done, and out of the results of the survey, they would move the way forward. I know when Mr. Carrot was there, I spoke with him, and I said to him that I think we have a serious congestion problem in the city, and that I needed him to work with the council, or the council work with him to help solve that problem. And within weeks of mentioning that to Mr. Carrot, we put a plan in place, and since then started the presence was to that you see in Maho, from Maho, St. Joseph, Woodley, and in Stockholm and all the other areas. So I think if Mr. Carrot was there, I don't mix my words for saying that. If Mr. Carrot was there, I'm almost sure that those things that I think need to be done, or the changes that need to be done, would have happened already.
Mayor of Roseau, His Worship Cecil Joseph, noted the issue of the right-of-way system can be solved by reducing the time spent waiting for passengers.
And when they do the job off, they do a right-of-way, meaning that as soon as they drop you off, they now decide to just move on from the lines. So I said to the bus drivers, rather than trying to complain, you can also beat the guys who are doing the right-of-way. How do you do that? Instead of staying half an hour on the bus stop, stay 5-10 minutes. Because the right-of-way is what they're doing is they're getting passengers along the route, and the bus having filled along the route. So you can destroy the right-of-ways by staying on the bus terminal. Your number one, stay on the bus terminal 10 minutes to the maximum and move out, and you can still get the same passengers that the right-of-ways are getting. So what would happen? Automatically, when the right-of-ways see that they're wasting gas going down the route, not getting anybody, they will be forced now to follow the line.
He noted this would prove to be very successful with a precise time system, so if one bus leaves at 9:30 a.m., another would leave at 9:40 a.m., and another at 9:50 a.m., and follow that trend so everyone benefits in that system. This would also prove a success, as there are many persons conducting transactions throughout the day and simply cannot waste time sitting on a bus, he explained. However, Maho bus driver Mr. Clayton Timothy is of the view that this system will not work.
You'll always find buses will not line up. And then what is happening is that there are people themselves, you'll never find that they will want to wait. They always want to rush in, oh, I'm busy, I can't wait. So that is where the problem is. The problem is if the people and with the buses doing the right-of-way route. But I find our problem here is if only these buses, we could get away for these buses not to use the bus stop, our problem could solve. Although the people will still follow them, because there are people who does not want to follow rules, you know. All they want to do is always on the opposite. But the real problem we have is if these buses would not pass on the bus stop, that is the problem we would have.
It does not matter if we have to wait 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. There will always be some people in a rush, so this system is of no use. If the bus stop is used correctly, he added, there would be no problem at all and things would run smoothly. Another bus driver who chooses to remain anonymous also agreed this time system will not resolve the problems they are experiencing. In more stories, with numerous allegations of unlawful activity by police officers who are supposed to emulate what true law-abiding citizens of this country should be, it appears that some officers are no better than the common criminals. One senior police officer is concerned by these incidents, saying that this is not how the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force should be in 2013 or at any time. Inspector Claude Wicks, who will celebrate 30 years as a police officer on August 15, 2013, noted flaws and conflicts exist in any society. However, they need to be managed effectively so they do not cast any dark shadows on any organization, in this case, the police department.
It means, therefore, it brings about a dim view by the public of the organization. The confidence of the public must be so deeply entrenched in the police force. But it can only be deeply entrenched in the police force provided that we are examples in the society. You're right that we're expected to be above reproach. We're expected to be displaying exemplary behavior in the society. And it means, therefore, because a police officer or police officers are not above the law, if reports are made against us, it has to be investigated. You expect an investigations to be conducted or to be open in that regard.
Any officer who breaches the law they are supposed to uphold, he said, should be dealt with accordingly. And when this is not done, it erodes the public's confidence in the police force. This could also open the avenue for the public to take the law into their own hands. They would ask themselves who will guard the guards if the police officers are allegedly involved in criminal activities, Inspector Weeks explained.
And they are the one to uphold the law. They are the custodian of the law. Who would the public go to? Are you going to go to the very same people who are breaking the law? So that is why, and that would be the minority, by the way. I would beg to defer that our police force is so badly derailed by inappropriate behavior or bad conduct. Like anything else, whatever the organization or whoever would be in the organization, it's really in the minority. But of course, we know one bad apple can spoil the entire bunch. So if the one bad apple is not dealt with properly within the parameters of the law, indeed, it would be a catalyst, in my view, in my opinion, for perhaps others to continue in like manner.
He said he applauds the police chief, Daniel Carbon's position for zero tolerance in mediocrity in dealing with such incidents. We as police officers are not perfect. I mean, no one or organization is perfect. However, officers have standards to uphold, and if they cannot be adhered to, there are consequences that will follow, Inspector Weeks stressed.
So if we do things that are wrong, whether it's in firearms, whether it's in drugs, whatever it is, I think we have to be investigated. And if the results are that there are grounds for us to be disciplinarily dealt with or criminally dealt with in a court of law, let justice take its course. But at the end of the day, remember, it's all about the citizenry. It's all about building the confidence of the nation so that there's good police public relations, and that in itself is, in my view, a good socio-economic tool and recipe for the general economic growth, the spiritual growth, the social growth of our country. And I think it's a good utterance that the chief, maybe many people might seek to defer, but you don't. Jesus Christ was flawless and he was crucified. So who is the chief of police, or who the proponents of justice or to do what is right? We are only mere mortals.
Dominica is ours to build, and we cannot do so on wrong footing, but within the parameters of the law. All systems must work in harmony to ensure there is socio-economic development in this country, he added. In other stories, in an effort to fight the rise in obesity cases and other health concerns in Dominica, economist McCarthy Murray says the government will be looking to impose more taxes on sugary foods.
Many people are sick that the nation cannot produce what it ought to produce. And I think some people have actually calculated the cost of these diseases to the economies. It is why they consider that to be a big problem that we need to solve. The science says a major part of that problem is the consumption of sugar itself. They now label an addictive substance. So some people claim no addictive than cocaine. So the government can take fiscal measures, but now there are no taxes on sugar. Start taxing certain kinds of sugar, particularly sugar drinks, which is, one thing you can start on. The education continues, and hopefully people will start to amend their diet. Make bad food expensive and good food less expensive.
He made the statement at a pre-budget consultation. Historian Dr. Lennox Honeychurch, who was also at the consultation, stated the public needs to be continuously educated on the effects of excessive consumption of sugar and salt in an effort to improve their health. This is very important. At some point, Dominicans were very healthy people. Their consumption of food was limited and they walked a lot.
We're not going to replicate that now because the imported food that's coming in, particularly from the North American countries, is loaded with sugar. And so that affects also a very serious health point. So I think, it's a matter of programming, but as Mark said, there is a taxation element in it, but constant education and programs related to making people understand that this is a very serious issue because we need a healthy people to have a healthy economy.
100 new full-time jobs. Coffee, 820 new jobs. Poultry, 150 new jobs. Pork, 50 new jobs. Tourism, 300 new jobs. A total of 1,320 new jobs. Madam Speaker, not all of these jobs will be available within 1 year. The trend will be towards a sharp increase in the number of employed. It should be noted that mention is not made of the hundreds of part-time jobs that we created and available as a result of these targeted investments.
During the 2013 to 2000 budget on Wednesday, July 24th, the Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit noted that the poultry and the pork production will also contribute to employment.
A conservative 5-year projection on the rearing of chickens and pigs reveals the following. In year 1, with 38,000 chickens and 1,920 pigs, 25 new jobs will be created. In year 2, with 70,000 chickens and 3,000 pigs, 25 new jobs will be created. In year 3, for 120 chickens and 5,000 pigs, 25 new jobs will be created. In year 4, with 170,000 chickens and 7,000 pigs, 30 new jobs will be created. In year 5, with 250,000 chickens and 10,000 pigs, 45 new jobs will be created.
He added the processing of chickens in the quantity projected will open up opportunities for the establishment of a hatchery. It is hoped that private sectors investors embark on the opportunities presented by the development of the poultry industry. More news. Labour Youth Organization and the National Executive of the Dominican Labour Party decided to host the Miss Red 2013 pageant. The Miss Red show will be held at Crazy Coconuts at 8 p.m. on Saturday, 27th July and cost only $10. Mrs. Kamala John Baptist Aaron, chairperson of the technical committee, gives the objective of hosting the event.
It's very simple, as a matter of fact. It is an opportunity for young women to get a platform, to display their talent, and to get experience in pageants, the beauty, fashion industry, because the show is really what I consider to be a mesh between a pageant and a high fashion runway show. So it's a mesh of the two. And there are several women who are in the competition, the Miss Red competition 2013, who have indicated their interest in participating in state-run pageants. And I talk about state-run pageants like the Miss Dominica pageant, the Miss Wapduyet pageant.
There will be 4 rounds throughout the show.
So the first round, you'll see the young ladies introduce themselves very, very simply, and then we will have what we're calling the artistic wear, repping the party color. And that will be followed by another round that we're calling high fashion red. And then they will do the evening wear round. But I must share with you that this pageant is unique in the sense that there will be an elimination process on the night of the show. So in the 3 rounds that they are being judged, all 21 will compete in the first 2 rounds. After the second round, the top 11 will be selected and they will compete in the evening wear round. And of those 11, 5 will be selected, the top 5 will be selected, of which Miss Red 2013 will be crowned.
Although the winner of the Miss Red 2013 will benefit from gifts and cash prizes, Mrs. Aaron sees this as just a bonus compared to the wealth of experience, knowledge, and poise that the ladies have developed thus far.
I am telling you, mark my words, The Dominica Festivals Committee, the Cultural Division, is going to be hounding. Both of these organizations are going to be hounding these young women when they see what they produce on the night of July 27th. Quite frankly, I'm very impressed by what I see. It takes a lot to impress me, and I'm impressed by what I see. And I am guaranteeing you that you will see these women in other pageants just because of the caliber that they bring, what they bring to the stage, what they bring as far as their presence and their deportment, their delivery is concerned. You will see them again.
21 contestants from 21 constituencies are participating in the Miss Bread pageant, including the Maho constituency, Grand Bay, Monjon, Roseau South, Salybert, Salisbury, and Wesley constituencies. Other news, Canefield resident Eric Elise, owner of Calibuds Productions, needs more support from the public in order to take his career to an international level. Eric does not only produce beats and sounds for local artists across the island, he also sings and raps. His interest in music, developing beats and songwriting, developed in the second form when he attended secondary school.
Well, it all started back in second form when I met a small group called Chidopsi out of Goodwill, and I actually started making beats. I brought it to them, they liked it, so they kind of pushed me. So, and then I met other people like Dalty, Dory, Dr. Cooks, and they all kind of pushed me to develop that name, Calibuds, which stands for Classic Anthem Local Island Entertainment, Building United Dominicans. Yeah, so it's all about bringing people together to make that kind of a music, you know, international.
Currently, Mr. Elise is working with a few local artists to produce albums and mixtapes. However, the support from the public tends to be extremely low. He believes that with other individuals in the music industry, their talents can make it on the international scene. Eric reminisced on the first beat he ever made and how the public reacted to it.
It was kind of amazing to me, but it wasn't amazing to other people, you know, and that is where kind of a push me, because, you know, people checking like, you know, that song ain't bad, but that missing and that missing, you know, so I get a lot of that from a lot of people, so I kind of try to step up my game.
He noted that although there may be numerous amounts of negativity circulating those who want to pursue a career in music, once it is your passion, do not give up.
To do that, you have to have a lot of passion and a lot of patience. Yeah, and don't worry what nobody say, because you'll get a lot of that. Because I did that for over 10 years now, since second form, and trust me, you'll get a lot of, boy, music not gonna take you nowhere. Boy, Dominica not for that. You'll get a lot of that, but just keep focused and keep on doing what you're doing, and you will get there.
Calibuds Productions will soon be producing a few summer bits, and the public can look forward to something special for Creole Festival. We now go to a preview of Eric's latest summer song, In the Making.
From the time you step in your tight jeans, girl, you know you tempt me. Yes, you know you tempt me. Then you started whining, whistling started rolling. Love the way you grooving, you move it. Hey, now would you whine for me? Just let me know. Would you groove for me?
And that's for sure.
Yeah. Would you whine for me?
Just let me know.
Hey girl, would you groove for me? Hey.
This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.
Have you ever wanted to order on the internet but don't own a credit card, or you're just fed up of the high prices of items locally? Well, the solution is Chemex Online Services. Chemex Online Services. Order a wide variety of items and get your items in as quick as 5 to 10 days. For placing orders or for more information, call 614-9550. The sky's the limit with Chemex Online Services.